There's a lot of good information out there about how to get good tone on clarinet and saxophone, but I want to share 3 things that you may not have thought of, and these are things that have really helped students in our middle school band program. The first is have your students donate a good new reed. And what this does is it helps to make sure, one, that they have reeds, that they're not relying on something that they bought 2 years ago. It also makes sure that they're playing on the correct strength, because you can monitor that as it comes in. When students come to us, we say you need to be playing on 3 strength reeds. And so we need to make sure that what you donate is a 3 strength reed. And then it needs to be a quality brand as well. It's not some economy reed, not some off-brand reed, but it needs to be a good quality reed and something that we recommend. Okay, and then when they donate it to us, we say we're going to keep this, and when you run out, we've got one for you. But having them donate a reed, make sure that they've got new reeds, they've got the correct strength, and they've got a quality brand. And that's been a huge difference for the tone of our clarinet and sax students. It's also saved us a ton of money as a band program. Once we realized how much money we were giving out in free reeds, the donation system has worked really well for us. So have your students donate a quality reed. A couple more equipment things you can think of is maybe your students would benefit from a mouthpiece upgrade. Even a modest one like a Clark Phobes Debut, you could push them toward a little bit more expensive Van Doren model, but having that quality mouthpiece can really make a big difference. And then a really small, inexpensive thing, put a mouthpiece patch on your clarinet and saxophone students' mouthpieces. And that little bit of cushion helps give them a more confident grip on the mouthpiece and allows them to be a little bit more confident in the way they project and play their instrument. I want to share a couple more thoughts, but first I want to encourage you to check out a guide that I put together called Developing Your Band with Amplified Warm-Ups. You can get that free at amplifiedwarmups.com/guide, and it has my best thoughts on not only tone and intonation, but phrasing and style and dynamics and articulation, a number of different things. Check that out at amplifiedwarmups.com/guide. Next, we want to talk about something that's great for cleaning up embouchures quickly, and that's playing on just part of the instrument. So for clarinet, it's mouthpiece and barrel. For saxophone, I like to have them just play on the mouthpiece. And the reason I don't like to have them play on the mouthpiece and neck is because there's not a lot of flexibility there. And what they play is going to reflect more where the mouthpiece is on the neck than what they're doing with their embouchure. So it's a little bit more challenging, but I have them play on just the mouthpiece only. And when they do these things, they should produce a specific pitch. So clarinet and mouthpiece and barrel should be an F sharp, concert F sharp, maybe a little bit higher than that. An alto sax mouthpiece should produce around an A. Tenor sax mouthpiece should produce around a G. Bari sax should produce around a D. And a bass clarinet should produce about an F sharp. And I don't keep these pitches memorized. I keep them in a note on my phone that I can reference quickly. But this is the first thing I do anytime I transition a student from a regular instrument to one of the low woodwind instruments, low woodwind. So when we go to tenor sax or bari sax or bass clarinet, the first thing that I do is have them play on the mouthpiece and reed only so they can get the right pitch and they can feel how open they need to be to play those instruments. But as students play and try to get the right pitch to come out of just the partial instrument, it helps them feel what they need to do with their embouchure to play the instrument correctly. So that's a huge thing, is have them play the correct pitch on just the clarinet mouthpiece and barrel, or the saxophone or bass clarinet mouthpiece only. And finally, I want to talk about one thing which is huge, is make them aware of their pitch, and especially in the middle range of their instrument. So whether you have them match pitch on something like a harmony director note that you're playing, or maybe just you're putting a tuner on them, either way is fine. Make them aware of pitch, especially in the middle range of their instrument. So clarinet, we're talking about throat tones. Saxophone, we're talking about in between registers. So if you think about the upper register starts with D, that range tends to be round in sound, but it tends to be sharp. And then below that, C sharp and right below tends to be a little bit more raw sounding and flat. And if you have them go back and forth between those types of notes and make the adjustments to affect tone and pitch as well, it's going to give them a really good idea of what they need to do to sound good throughout the range of their instrument. Likewise on clarinet, if you can get them playing with good tone and in tune on their throat tones, they're going to be pretty well set up to play most of their instrument with a good tone and pitch. So have them match pitch with something that you're playing, put a tuner on front of them, make them aware of the pitch, especially in the middle range of their instrument. It's going to go a long way to help them play with good tone. So I hope these tips were helpful. Again, check out that guide at amplifiedwarmups.com/guide. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you soon.